I'm Maya, 29 years old. 3 days ago, my boss fired me in front of the entire marketing department. He called me dead weight and the weakest link while 50 people watched. I didn't cry. I didn't beg for my job. I just looked at my watch, smiled, and said, "You're right, Mr. Carter. I should leave. But first, I need to check on my property." The confusion on his face was priceless. "Your property," he laughed. "You live in a studio apartment, Maya." That's when I took out my phone. I dialed one number. I said 2 words. Phase 3. 30 seconds later, 6 men in suits walked into our office. They went straight to Mr. Carter's glass-walled office. They started taking his things out. His expensive desk, his leather chair, his framed awards. Mr. Carter screamed. "What are you doing? I own this company." One of the men in suits handed him a document. "Actually, sir," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "you don't. Not anymore. The building has new ownership, and they've terminated your lease." Mr. Carter read the paper. His face went from red to white. Then he looked at me. Really looked at me. I was already packing my single desk plant into a box. Before I tell you how a 29-year-old marketing assistant ended up owning a $15 million office building, please hit that like button and subscribe. But only if you've ever had a boss who made you feel small. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from right now. I want to know who's with me. Let me take you back 2 years. To the day my grandmother died. That was the day everything changed. That was the day I learned what real strength looks like. My boss is David Carter, founder and CEO of Carter Digital Marketing. You've probably seen his ads. They're everywhere. Grow your business with Carter. He drives a bright yellow Lamborghini. He brags about it. A lot. Our office is in downtown Seattle. 10th floor, glass and steel. You can see the water from the windows. It's a beautiful space. Or it was. I worked there as a junior marketing assistant. Lowest position on the team. I made $42,000 a year. Before taxes, my job was simple. I made coffee. I scheduled meetings. I organized files. I did whatever no one else wanted to do. Mr. Carter loved to remind me I was replaceable. "A monkey could do your job, Maya," he'd say. Then he'd laugh like it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. I lived in a 400-square-foot studio apartment. It was above a Thai restaurant. It always smelled like curry. My rent was $1,450 a month. After rent, student loans, and groceries, I had about $200 left every month. I took the bus to work. Mr. Carter parked his Lamborghini in the spot right by the front door, the one marked reserved for CEO. My coworkers weren't much better, especially Chloe. She was the senior marketing manager. She went to an Ivy League school. Her parents paid for everything. She carried a $4,000 Chanel bag to work every day. She loved giving me orders. "Maya, this coffee is cold. Maya, my dry cleaning is ready. Maya, my dog needs walking at lunch." I did it all because I needed the job. Because everyone needs a first job, right? But here's what they didn't know. What no one knew. My grandmother was Eleanor Roth. Maybe you've heard the name. Probably not. She didn't like attention. She was a real estate investor. A quiet one. She bought properties when they were cheap. She held on to them. She was brilliant. She died 2 years ago. She left me everything. Her entire portfolio, 47 properties across 3 states, including the office building where Carter Digital Marketing rented the 10th floor. The value? $87 million. But there was a condition in her will. A strange one. I couldn't tell anyone. Not for 2 years. I had to keep working my job. I had to live on my salary. I had to learn the value of a dollar and the character of people. So for 2 years, I was a billionaire's granddaughter, making $42,000 a year. Getting coffee for a man who rented space in my building. Crazy, right? What I didn't know then was that my grandmother's plan had a purpose, a big one. Let me paint the picture for you, so you understand what those 2 years were like. Monday mornings, I had to be at the office by 7 a.m. to make fresh coffee before the 8:30 executive meeting. Mr. Carter liked his coffee a specific way. Dark roast, 2 sugars, 1 cream. At exactly 180 degrees, he had a thermometer. He checked. One Monday, the thermometer broke. I guessed the temperature. He took 1 sip and spit it back into the cup. Too cold, Maya, he said. He poured the entire $20 cup of coffee into the trash. Do it again. And this time, get it right. The lunch incident. Chloe forgot her wallet one day. She asked me to buy her lunch. I'll pay you back, she said. I bought her a $24 salad from the place downstairs. She never paid me back. When I asked her about it a week later, she looked at me like I was dirt. Seriously, Maya? You're bothering me over $24. That's pathetic. I needed that $24. It was my grocery money for the week, the overtime. Mr. Carter believed in hustle culture. That meant unpaid overtime, lots of it. If you left at 5 p.m., you weren't committed. I worked until 8 p.m. most nights. No overtime pay, just experience. One night, Mr. Carter left at 5:15 p.m. to go to his son's baseball game. He saw me still at my desk. Still here, Maya. Good. That's the kind of dedication we need. The kind that doesn't watch the clock. He didn't say thank you, he just left. The birthday party. For Mr. Carter's 45th birthday, the company threw a big party at a fancy hotel. Everyone was invited, even me. We were supposed to bring gifts. Nothing expensive, the email said. Just thoughtful. I bought him a nice pen. It cost $60. That was a lot for me, but I wanted to be thoughtful. Chloe bought him a weekend at a luxury resort. Value $3,000. Mr. Carter opened the gifts at the party. He held up Chloe's gift. Now this is class, he announced to everyone. Then he opened mine, the $60 pen. He looked at it. He didn't smile. A pen, he said. He put it aside without another word. I wanted to disappear. The performance review, after 1 year, I got my review. Mr. Carter called me into his office. The glass walls meant everyone could see us. You're adequate, Maya, he said. He didn't look up from his computer, but just adequate. You lack ambition. You lack drive. You're comfortable with being average. I wasn't average. I was doing the work of 3 people. But I didn't say that. I'll try harder, I said. He finally looked at me. See? That's the problem. Trying isn't doing. Do better. He gave me a 2% raise. That was $840 a year, about $16 a week, before taxes. I thanked him and went back to my desk. Chloe smirked at me. She'd gotten a 15% bonus, plus a trip to Hawaii every day. For 2 years, small cuts, little humiliations, constant reminders that I was at the bottom. And every day, I went home to my tiny apartment. I checked my bank account. The one with $87 million in assets. The one I couldn't touch yet. Grandma Ellie's words were in my head. Learn their character, Maya. When people have power over you, they show you who they really are. She was right. I was learning. My grandmother was my whole world. My parents died when I was 6. Car accident. Grandma Ellie raised me. She didn't live in a mansion. She lived in a cozy 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood. She drove a 2012 Toyota Camry. She wore sweaters from Costco, but she was the smartest person I've ever known. She taught me about money. Real money. Not show-off money. Rich people who need you to know they're rich aren't really rich, she'd say. They're just loud. She taught me about real estate. We'd drive around the city on Sundays. She'd point at buildings. See that one, Maya? I bought it in 1998 for $800,000. It's worth $8 million now. But the rent pays the mortgage, and then some. She showed me her ledger, a simple notebook. Each property listed, the purchase price, the current value, the monthly rent. It looked like a bunch of numbers to me then. I didn't understand how big it was. When I was in college, I studied marketing. Grandma Ellie paid for it, but she made me work part-time. You need to understand work, she said. I worked at a coffee shop. I made $12 an hour plus tips. Grandma Ellie was proud. You're learning, she said. That's more important than the degree. When I graduated, I got the job at Carter Digital. I was so excited. My first real job. In an office. Grandma Ellie looked at the offer letter. $42,000 a year. It's a start, she said, but she had a funny look on her face. 2 months later, she got sick. Pancreatic cancer. Fast and brutal. I took time off work to care for her. Mr. Carter wasn't happy. Family emergencies shouldn't affect work, Maya, he said, but he let me go. I spent the last 3 weeks of her life at her bedside, in her house, the one she'd owned for 40 years. The night before she died, she was weak, very weak, but her mind was sharp. Maya, she whispered, listen carefully. I held her hand. I'm leaving you everything, she said. The houses, the buildings, the apartments, everything. I started to cry. Grandma, I don't know how. Shh, she said. You'll learn. My lawyer will help you. But there's a rule. My rule. I waited. You can't tell anyone. Not for 2 years. You keep your job. You live on your salary. You learn what these people are really like. Why? I asked. She smiled. A weak smile, but a real one. Because I want you to see them, she said, when they think you're nothing. That's when people show their true colors. I've been preparing for this. I knew this would happen. She squeezed my hand. Remember, Maya, you own the ground beneath their feet, but don't let them know. Not until the right moment. She died the next morning, peacefully, in her sleep. The lawyer came 2 days later. Mr. Sterling. He was old. Like Grandma's lawyer for 30 years, he showed me the will, the portfolio, the numbers. $87 million. I almost fainted. Then he showed me the condition, the 2-year rule, in writing, legally binding. If you tell anyone, or if you quit your job without cause, the entire estate goes to charity, Mr. Sterling said. Your grandmother was very specific, so I went back to work. To Mr. Carter, to the coffee making, to the $42,000 a year, with a secret that could buy the entire company 100 times over. The first 6 months were the hardest, knowing what I had, what I could do, but having to play my part. Mr. Sterling helped me. He became my guide, my only confidant. We met once a month at a diner far from my office. He'd update me on the properties, the rents coming in, the maintenance issues, all the money going into accounts I couldn't touch yet. Your grandmother was a genius, he'd say every time. She bought right. She managed right. It's all passive income now. Beautifully passive. I learned about the office building, the one where I worked. 10 Financial Center. Grandma Ellie bought it in 2008. During the financial crisis, she paid $4.2 million. It was worth $15 million now. Carter Digital Marketing rented the entire 10th floor, 10,000 square feet. Rent, $35,000 a month. Mr. Carter loved to talk about his prime real estate, his prestigious address. He had no idea he was paying rent to his junior marketing assistant. The irony was delicious and painful, because I had to sit there and listen to him brag. Meanwhile, I was struggling, really struggling. My car broke down, a 2009 Honda Civic. The repair was $1,200. I didn't have it, not without touching Grandma's money. I took the bus for 3 months. Mr. Carter noticed. Car trouble, Maya. Maybe you should have chosen a more practical career. My apartment got infested with cockroaches from the restaurant downstairs. The landlord wouldn't pay for extermination. It would cost $500. I slept at a friend's couch for 2 weeks. I told Mr. Carter I had family issues. He rolled his eyes. Again with the family issues, Maya? You need to prioritize your career. The worst was medical. I needed a root canal. No dental insurance. The cost, $1,800. I put it on a credit card. At 24% interest, I remember sitting in the dental chair, the drill whining, my mouth numb, thinking, I have $87 million, and I'm putting a root canal on a credit card. But I didn't break. I remembered Grandma Ellie's words, learn their character, and I was learning. Oh, I was learning. The 2-year mark was approaching. April 14th. I had a countdown on my phone. 100 days, 50 days, 30 days. I started making plans, real plans, with Mr. Sterling's help. We decided on phase 1 of my new life. I would take control of the properties. I would move into Grandma Ellie's house. I would start managing things myself. But first, I had to get through the last few months at Carter Digital. And that's when things got worse. Much worse. Mr. Carter landed a huge new client, a national chain of gyms, $2 million contract. He promised them the moon. Then he dumped all the work on the team, with impossible deadlines. Guess who got the worst of it? Me. I was now working until 10 p.m. every night, including weekends. No extra pay. Just, this is your chance to prove yourself, Maya. One Friday night, I was the last one in the office. It was 11 p.m. I was finishing a presentation for Monday. Mr. Carter walked out of his office. He was leaving, in his expensive suit. Heading to his Lamborghini, he saw me at my desk. Still here? Good. That's dedication. He didn't ask if I needed help. He didn't ask if I had a way home. He just left. The bus had stopped running at 10:30 p.m. I had to take a rideshare. It cost $32, almost 2 hours of my pay, after taxes. The next Monday, I was tired. I made a mistake, a small one. I scheduled a meeting for the wrong time. Mr. Carter missed a call with a gym client. He stormed out of his office. He didn't close the door. Everyone could hear, Maya. My office, now. I went in. He was red-faced, angry. Do you have any idea how important that call was? Any idea at all? I'm sorry, Sorry doesn't cut it. Sorry doesn't bring in $2 million. He went on for 5 minutes, yelling, calling me careless, stupid, a liability. When he finished, he took a breath. He looked at me, really looked at me. You know what your problem is, Maya. You don't have what it takes. You never did. I didn't say anything. I just looked at the calendar on my phone. April 14th. 2 weeks away. Get out, he said, and fix the schedule. Don't mess up again. I went back to my desk. My hands were shaking, but not from fear, from anticipation. Because I knew something he didn't know. The clock was ticking, and his time in my building was almost up. April 14th, my 2-year mark, the day everything changed. I woke up early. I put on my best outfit, a simple black dress, nothing fancy. I bought it at Target 2 years ago. It cost $29.99. I took the bus to work. One last time. I had a meeting with Mr. Sterling at noon, at the diner, to sign the final papers, to officially take control of everything. But first, I had to get through the morning. I walked into the office at 8:05 a.m., 5 minutes late. The bus was behind schedule. Mr. Carter was waiting by my desk, arms crossed, face like thunder. Late again, Maya? His voice was loud. The whole office could hear. The bus. I don't care about the bus, he snapped. You're always late, always with an excuse. I just stood there. I didn't apologize. I didn't explain. He didn't like that. My silence. He followed me to the kitchen, where I was making the coffee, like always. You know what? He said. Don't bother. We're having a team meeting in 5 minutes, in the conference room. Everyone. I finished making the coffee. I carried the carafe to the conference room, the big one, with the glass walls. Everyone was there. All 50 people, the whole marketing department. Chloe, the designers, the account managers, everyone. Mr. Carter stood at the front. He had a PowerPoint on the screen. The title, Excellence or Exit. Oh boy. He started talking about the gym client, about the $2 million, about how important it was. Then he paused. He looked around the room. His eyes landed on me. Some of us get it, he said. Some of us live and breathe this company, and some of us, he looked right at me, some of us are just dead weight. The room was silent. People looked down at their hands. No one looked at me. Mr. Carter kept going. I built this company from nothing. I didn't do it by being lazy. I didn't do it by showing up late. I didn't do it by making excuses. He was getting louder, more dramatic. And you know what? I'm tired of carrying people who don't pull their weight. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of mediocrity. He pointed at me. Actually pointed. His finger was like a weapon. Maya, stand up. I stood up. Slowly, calmly. He walked toward me, stopped a few feet away. For 2 years, you've been the weakest link on this team, he said. His voice was cold now, controlled. You make mistakes. You're late. You lack ambition. You're holding us back. I just looked at him. I didn't speak. I've made a decision, he announced to the room. Effective immediately, Maya Rodriguez is no longer an employee of Carter Digital Marketing. Gasps around the room, but no one said anything. You are fired, Maya, he said. To me, to my face, in front of everyone. Clean out your desk. Be gone in 30 minutes. He turned back to the room. This is what happens when you don't perform. This is the consequence. Then he looked at me one last time. Any questions? I smiled. A real smile. Not a happy smile. A you have no idea smile, Mr. Carter saw it. It confused him, angered him. Something funny, Maya? He sneered. I looked at my watch. 9:47 a.m. You're right, Mr. Carter, I said. My voice was calm, steady. I should leave. But first, I need to check on my property. He blinked. Your property. My building, I said. Simple, clear. The room was dead silent. You could hear the air conditioning humming. Mr. Carter laughed. A harsh, ugly laugh. Your building. You live above a restaurant, Maya, in a studio. I know because I saw your address on your application. I didn't answer. I just took out my phone. I had one number on speed dial. Mr. Sterling. I pressed it. It rang once, he answered. Phase 3, I said. Just 2 words. Then I hung up. Mr. Carter was staring at me. So was everyone else. Confused. Curious. What was that? Mr. Carter asked. Who did you call? My lawyer, I said. And my property manager. Property manager? He was getting angry now. What game are you playing, Maya? You're fired. Get out. I sat back down. I crossed my legs. I made myself comfortable. I'll leave when I'm ready, David, I said. First time I'd ever called him by his first name. His eyes widened. What did you just call me? Before he could say anything else, the elevator dinged. The doors opened. 6 men in dark suits walked into the office. They looked serious, professional. Mr. Sterling led them. He was 75 years old. White hair, sharp eyes. He carried a leather briefcase. They walked straight past the receptionist, straight to the conference room. Mr. Sterling opened the glass door. Everyone was staring. Mr. Carter was confused. Can I help you? Mr. Carter asked, trying to sound in charge. Mr. Sterling ignored him. He walked up to me. Ms. Rodriguez, he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. The papers are ready. Phase 3 is initiated. I nodded. Thank you, Mr. Sterling. Then Mr. Sterling turned to Mr. Carter. He handed him a document. Thick, legal. What is this? Mr. Carter snapped. Notice of lease termination, Mr. Sterling said. His voice was calm, professional. And notice of eviction. Effective immediately, Mr. Carter stared at the paper. Then he laughed. A nervous laugh. Eviction? This is a joke. I have a lease. 3 more years. Mr. Sterling didn't smile. Your lease was with Roth Properties LLC. As of 9 a.m. this morning, Roth Properties has been dissolved. The building has new ownership. So I'll pay the new owner, Mr. Carter said. Who is it? Some corporation? Mr. Sterling looked at me, then back at Mr. Carter. The new owner is standing right in front of you, he said. Maya Rodriguez. Your former employee. She now owns 1010 Financial Center. And every other property in the Roth portfolio. The silence was absolute. You could hear a pin drop, a computer fan, someone's breath catching. Mr. Carter's face went through changes, confusion, disbelief, then dawning, horror. That's impossible, he whispered. I stood up. I walked to the front of the room, where Mr. Carter had been standing. Where he'd just fired me, I faced the room. All 50 people, staring at me, shocked. 2 years ago, I said. My voice was clear, it didn't shake. My grandmother, Eleanor Roth, died. She left me her entire real estate portfolio, 47 properties, including this building. I looked at Mr. Carter. He was pale, sweating. There was a condition, I continued. I couldn't tell anyone. For 2 years, I had to keep working. I had to live on my salary. I had to learn. I paused, let it sink in. For 2 years, I made your coffee, David. I scheduled your meetings. I listened to you tell me I was average, that I lacked ambition, that I was dead weight. I took a step toward him, all while you paid $35,000 a month in rent to me. All while you bragged about your prime real estate, my real estate. Mr. Carter opened his mouth. No sound came out. Mr. Sterling spoke again. The lease termination is valid. Mr. Carter, there's a clause. Section 14B. The lease may be terminated immediately if the tenant harasses, intimidates, or creates a hostile work environment for the property owner or their representatives. He looked at the room, at all the witnesses. Firing the building owner in front of 50 people qualifies as hostile, Mr. Sterling said. You have 2 hours to vacate the premises. Now Mr. Carter found his voice. 2 hours? You can't be serious. My business, my files, my equipment. You should have thought of that before, I said. Before you humiliated people you thought were beneath you. I turned to the room, to my co-workers. Some looked shocked. Some looked guilty. Chloe looked like she might be sick. To everyone else, I said, you have the day off, paid, while Mr. Carter moves out. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the future of this space and possibly new management. Then I looked back at Mr. Carter. He was sinking into a chair, defeated. Oh, and David, I said, about your Lamborghini, it's in my parking spot. The one marked building owner. You might want to move it before it gets towed. What happened next was beautiful. And I didn't have to do a thing. The 6 men in suits started packing up Mr. Carter's office. They were efficient. They put his things in boxes, his expensive desk, his chair, his awards. Mr. Carter tried to call his lawyer, but his lawyer worked for the same firm as Mr. Sterling. Conflict of interest. He wouldn't take the call. He tried to call other real estate agents to find a new space. But word spreads fast in commercial real estate, especially when you've just been evicted by your own employee. No one would take his calls. Meanwhile, the gym client, the $2 million contract, they heard what happened from someone in the office. They called Mr. Carter. We don't do business with people who treat employees like that, they said. They canceled the contract. His other clients started calling too, one by one, dropping him. By 11 a.m., Mr. Carter was sitting on the floor of his empty office, just a box of his things beside him. His phone was buzzing nonstop. He didn't answer it. Chloe tried to talk to me. She followed me to the elevator. Maya, she said. Her voice was shaky. I had no idea. I'm so sorry for everything. I looked at her, really looked at her. Did you know when you made me buy your lunch and never paid me back? I asked. She looked down. No, but did you know when you made me walk your dog while you went to spin class? She didn't answer. I didn't think so, I said. I got in the elevator. Maya, wait, she said. My job? What about my job? The new management will decide, I said. Then the doors closed. I went to the diner to meet Mr. Sterling, to sign the papers. As I left the building, I saw Mr. Carter loading boxes into his Lamborghini. It looked ridiculous. A bright yellow sports car filled with office supplies. He saw me. He stopped. He just stared. I didn't say anything. I just got into the waiting car Mr. Sterling had sent. A simple black sedan. Nothing flashy. As we drove away, I looked back. Mr. Carter was still standing there, in front of my building, a box in his hands, alone. The next week was interesting. Mr. Carter tried to fight the eviction. He hired a new lawyer, but the clause was clear, and there were 50 witnesses. He lost. He tried to find a new office, but commercial leases take time, months. His business couldn't wait. Employees quit. Clients left. Within a month, Carter Digital Marketing was done. Bankrupt, the Lamborghini got repossessed. He couldn't make the payments. His house? He'd mortgaged it to fund the business. The bank took it. I heard he moved in with his brother, in a small apartment. He was looking for a job, at 45. With a failed company on his resume, I didn't feel happy about it. Not exactly. I didn't feel sad either. It was just natural, the consequence of his own actions. Like Grandma Ellie said, when you're cruel to people, the universe notices. 2 weeks after everything happened, I got a visit from someone I didn't expect, Sarah, the quiet graphic designer from the office. She was my age, always nice to me, never asked me to do her work. She came to Grandma Ellie's house, where I was now living. I brought you something, she said. She handed me a plant, the one from my desk. I'd forgotten it in the chaos. Thank you, I said. I invited her in. We drank tea in the kitchen, the one Grandma Ellie and I had sat in so many times. I wanted to say I'm sorry, Sarah said. I saw how he treated you, how everyone treated you. I should have said something. I should have done something. I smiled. You were always kind. That was enough. She shook her head. No, it wasn't. Silence is complicity. I learned that. Then she took a deep breath. I quit. After you left, I couldn't work there anymore. I'm sorry, I said. Don't be, she said. It was the best decision I ever made. We talked for an hour about design, about what we wanted to do. As she was leaving, I had an idea. I'm turning the 10th floor into something new, I said. Creative office spaces for small businesses, for artists, for people who don't fit in corporate boxes. She looked interested. I need someone to help design it, I said. Someone with vision, someone kind. She understood. Her eyes got teary. I'd love to, she said. The next day, I went to see Grandma Ellie at the cemetery. It was a sunny day. Spring flowers were blooming. Her grave was simple, a flat stone, just her name and dates, and one line. She knew the value of things and people. I sat on the grass beside her, like I used to sit beside her chair. Hi, Grandma, I said. My voice was quiet. I did it, just like you said. The wind rustled the trees. It felt like she was listening. I waited, I learned. I saw their true colors. I told her everything about Mr. Carter, about the firing, about the eviction, about Sarah. I understand now, I said, why you made me wait. It wasn't about the money. It was about me, about who I would become. I touched the stone. The granite was warm from the sun. You taught me to see worth, real worth, not in bank accounts, not in job titles, in character. I smiled, a real smile, the kind she would have liked. I'm going to use the buildings for good, Grandma, affordable spaces for good people. Just like you would have. I stood up, brushed off my pants. Thank you, I whispered, for everything. As I walked away, I knew she was proud. I could feel it. So here's what I want to say to you, to everyone watching. If you're in a job where they make you feel small, if you have a boss who calls you names, if you work with people who treat you like you're nothing, remember this. They don't know your story. They don't know your worth. You might be making coffee right now. You might be filing papers. You might be taking orders from someone who doesn't respect you. But that's not who you are. That's just what you're doing. Your value isn't in your job title. It's in your heart. It's in your character. It's in how you treat people when no one is watching. And sometimes, the people at the bottom, they're actually the ones holding everything up. Don't let them make you forget your worth. Don't let their words become your truth. You are enough, exactly as you are, with or without the fancy job, with or without the big salary. Remember, sometimes the person who owns the building is the one making the coffee. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most powerful, and sometimes all you have to do is wait and learn and be ready for your moment. If this story touched you, please subscribe. Check the description. I have more stories like this one, real stories about real people. And remember, you are enough, exactly as you are. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.